I made a video sharing with you what a contingency was and a rule and how it elicits a behavior and you reward them for it. And I also talked about the if and only if within that contingency. The if and only if was derived from the Premack principle. The Premack principle is basically when you take something that you want done that they don't want to do and you pair it with something that they are more likely to want. For example, if you wash the dishes, you can go spend a night at your friend's house this weekend. It makes it more likely that they're going to wash the dishes because they want that desired outcome. If and only if. And I also made a video sharing that my son, he can't have his Xbox Live unless he cut the grass, and the grass is cut. Now I also share it with you what the shaping was and how you want to shape a child's behavior over time through rewards. Shaping is when you reward progress. Now, the last time my son cut the grass, I looked out the window and I told him that it wasn't the way I wanted it done. You know, when he got done, I still got him the Xbox Live because I had never showed him how to cut grass. But I explained to him my expectation. And that's part of your contingency contract. You have to specify how you want it done. You have to let them know to what extent or how good you want it. For example, you might tell your daughter, I want the bathroom cleaned and you can get the shoes. But then 2 days later, you go in there with a glove on, but you didn't tell her how, and then you tell her you didn't do it good enough. Well, you should always specify how good you want it done before. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, he did it a lot than he did the last time. For some reason, he didn't get that right at the front. And also, right here where my plants are. So I need, over the week, I'm going to bring him outside when we're having a good moment. And I'm going to tell him, next time I need you to pick up the flower pots before you put them to the side, because it'll only take an extra 2 minutes to cut this other area of the grass. I also left all of this by the house. Now, I believe that the reason why he did that is a few days ago, garden snake in the basement. But I need him to understand this is where snakes come from. So you need to keep that cut. He might have been like a little nervous about it. But I wanted to really share with you that when you want to shape a behavior, even if they do a almost perfect job, you don't want to just say, well, since you didn't do it just like this, you don't get the reward. You can still reward them, just like I'm getting his Xbox Live today, because he's moving in the direction that I want him in. He's making great, the word is approximations. This is, oh my gosh, like 90% better than the last time he did it, which means we're in the right direction. So once I bring him out here and I show him to move the flower pots, and you can use the lawnmower to cut that up there, next time it'll be done. But at the end of the day, I prompted him, it's a beautiful day, you want your live, go on out there and cut my grass. Because of, probably about 2 months ago, I told him it didn't make sense for me to have to always cut the grass myself. I usually don't mind. I look at it as exercise. But my schedule has been so rigid that I haven't had the time that I want to do it. And I'm tired. I'm tired now. But I got a few more things I got to do before I go to bed. And I'll probably be asleep by 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and up by 4 in the morning getting started. But I told him it don't make sense for you to get Xbox Live or other things you may want, and I'm paying somebody to cut my grass. It's not going to happen. If I have to pay somebody to cut my grass, you can eliminate the idea of me rewarding you or doing extra things for you. It's not happening. I'm not nobody's slave. I'm only supposed to provide a roof over your head and meals. If you want all the extra stuff, you have to contribute. It's about being responsible and being an active member of this house. And, I've had parents recently calling me. You'd be surprised at some of the things that's going on. And I know as a parent, we struggle, especially single parents, but even Some of these parents have husbands and wives in the house, husband and wife relationships. I've had people call me because their kids have already broke their tablets for school. And managing behaviors. If you don't start implementing different interventions or having someone work with your children, it makes it harder in the long run, And I want to tell you something. I was about to say this. This is something else I wanted to say regarding shaping. That's why it's good to reward the behavior, even if they made a really, really good effort. Because if you don't, it'll discourage them from wanting to do it again in the future. But if you reward them, explain to them, instead of just snapping, reward them. I use the example with my grass. Like, what if somebody cut your hair the way you cut my grass? You don't want to walk around with your hair looking like this. Well, I don't want people driving up my street looking at my grass and seeing patches. And this time, there's no patches, and I am grateful for that. And it increased the likelihood that he's motivated enough to come and do it the next time without there being conflict, without there being stress, or me having to yell at him, all that extra negativity that I don't really want to have to deal with. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going from here. Like I said, I'm a little tired, but shape the behaviors, use if and then principles. If you do this, then this is what's going to happen. Specify the degree that you want it done. A contingency contract is a written document. I mean, you ain't got to go that far, but you can. And it's good to have a mediator there. You, your child, and one more person, whether it's a neighbor, an aunt, or uncle. Because, it makes that accountability more higher. Always remember that you don't agree to do something that you can't deliver. And be consistent. Don't give in too soon. Like I said in another video, it rained right when his Xbox Live went out. So he wanted his Xbox Live, and I said, well, my grass isn't cut. Yeah, it rained for like the next 2 days, and I didn't say, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Xbox Live, but you gotta cut the grass after the rain stops. And no, that's part of his natural consequence. If it would have got done before the rain came, without me having to tell him, for example, he wouldn't have had to go those extra 4 days without his Xbox Live. But now the task is complete. I'm grateful, and I think I'm gonna stop. Let me see. I discussed shaping the pre-MAC principle. If you do this, then you'll do this. Pair a less desirable, something that you really want done, with something that's higher that they would do. That because that serves as a motivation. If you get up in the morning, then blah blah blah. If you do this, then that, if and then statements work miracles. And please feel free to message me if anything is going on that you might need some advice on, some assistance with, now that school is starting, shaping behaviors. And I'll make, as I'm dealing with my individual stuff here with school, and something comes to mind that I can kind of discuss, I'll do that. I'll make a video. Everybody have a blessed and wonderful day.